Now, I want to tell you something right now. One of the big issues for most Americans is the right to bear arms. The right of the people to keep and bear arms in defense of themselves and of the lawful authority of the state shall not be infringed upon, except that the manner of bearing arms may be regulated by law. Now, that's a constitutional provision from Florida. I've been searching states through the NRA, and the NRA is a great organization. They need your help more than ever right now. In fact, I'm going to try to do a fundraiser for the NRA sometime soon because the day is coming that these leftist criminals are going to want to disarm you as sure as I'm standing here. There's no question in my mind that the reason Hitler disarmed the population in the early 30s, the reason Castro the murderer and his good friend Sean Penn disarmed the Cuban people so early in his administration is because he feared the people. He hated the people. He despised the people, so he disarmed the people in order to turn them into malleable little mice. Now, last year, as you well know, the Supreme Court for the first time actually looked at the Second Amendment, and it was the first time in America's history that the Supreme Court actually ruled on it. And thanks to George Bush, who we're all starting to miss a little bit more every day now. Yes, I knew. I didn't think that day would come, but here it is. We're all starting to get a little regretful that Bush is gone, aren't we? And when the Supreme Court reviewed the Second Amendment, they said, yes, you have a right to bear arms. So we breathed a sigh of relief, but it was 5-4. It was by the breath of one individual. Now, the turncoats on the Supreme Court, those are the left-wingers who want to take away not only your right to bear arms, but your right to free speech, your right to raise the children the way you want, the right to think what you want. Believe me, they're not going to stop until they seize your guns, and they're working on it, as sure as I'm sitting here. So what I want to do for a few minutes is tell you that I looked around America, and to me, there's a few provisions in the Florida firearms laws that should become a model for America, and I want to read you two of them. A synopsis of state laws on purchase, possession, and carrying of firearms. And what's interesting here is that liberals agree with me on this. I don't think you understand this, but many liberals want the right to bear arms because they fear you, the conservative. And, of course, the conservative fears them, and so you want to bear arms. And that's a good thing because, obviously, we want to protect ourselves from a draconian government and also from crazy people who are out to do us harm. So if you look at Florida's gun laws, it's interesting. It says no permit is necessary for a rifle or a shotgun to purchase, register, license, or carry. No, nothing. Nothing. Handguns, permit to purchase. The only thing you need is a permit to carry is you need a license. But here's an interesting thing that you won't find in most other states. A resident of the United States who is a non-resident of Florida, so that means you, if you don't live in Florida, may carry a concealed weapon or concealed firearm while in the state if that person is 21 years of age or older, has in his or her immediate possession a valid license to carry a concealed weapon or firearm issued by the state of their residence, and abides by the Florida laws on carrying a concealed weapon or firearm. So that means, let's say you're an officer of the law, or you have a conceal and carry because you have designated threats were made against you, and your local sheriff has given you the authority to carry a gun, get you a license, and you registered it and all that. You can carry that gun into Florida. Now, I can't tell you whether it's legal for you to carry it, how you get it there. I mean, maybe states you're going to go through won't permit it, but the point is in Florida you can conceal and carry. But here comes the best part. Here it is. Under Florida law, there is no duty to retreat. If you are attacked in any place, you have a lawful right to be. Let me read that again. Under Florida law, there is no duty to retreat. If you are attacked in any place, you have a lawful right to be. So if you're sitting in a restaurant and a bunch of deadbeat bums come in and hold out guns and say, we're holding you up, there is no duty to retreat if you're attacked in any place you have a lawful right to be. Instead, you may stand your ground and meet force with force, including deadly force, if you reasonably believe it is necessary to prevent death or great bodily harm to yourself or others. Do you hear this? Isn't that wonderful? So that means that's why the oldsters in Florida who are packing are not held up as often as they are in states where they can't carry guns. Because the punks who hold up restaurants for a quick buck don't know if they're going to get their heads blown off by an oldster sitting at a table over there who might be a retired cop or a retired military. You understand this? So there it is. I mean, there's much more in here. I'm just giving you a synopsis of the things that struck me as very interesting. And so Florida, to me, has excellent firearms laws that should become a model for the rest of America. God only knows most states in America no longer grant people the rights they should have, and only the wrong people have guns in terms of the illegal people who are carrying the guns. And I'm totally in favor of the right to carry a gun if you are of a certain age, if you're sane, if you're not a Democrat and you didn't vote for Obama. I'll be right back.
Savage.